everyone. I'm excited about bringing my next newbie on. I have with me Amy Chichosz. I hope I said it right because we were talking about Cheetos before earlier today, and I didn't want to say that. So, welcome to the show. We are live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. She is the CEO and founder of Epic Senior Placement. Welcome to the show. You have to tell everybody a little bit about you, what your services are, and especially that people need to understand this is a free service to them. It makes sense to talk to somebody like you to know what to do.
Exactly. It can be a dicey time, when our seniors are getting older and trying to figure out and navigate what needs to happen going on down the road. So my name is Amy and I own Epic Senior Placement. What's kind of fun and unique about me is that I've got 25 years in healthcare, and I've worked a lot of different jobs, from home health and hospice, medical equipment, infusion, and I'm a nurse too. So I feel like I'm really just, a great compilation of what it needs to be to provide the best services for these people, because you can't just come in and do it not knowing all this good stuff for medical and
I think it
stuff.
enhances it.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when people call you and they say, well, this is a free service to the families, a lot of people don't understand how that works.
Right. So yeah, it is a free service. How I work is that, you're calling me, we're having a good phone conversation. I'm learning a lot of different things about your loved one, mom or dad, grandparents. Maybe it's a neighbor next door. Maybe you're the power of attorney for somebody, one of your friends. And so I have that conversation with you on the phone. We go over a lot of different things. I call it my intake. I'm assessing over the phone. And if I ever need to assess in person, I can do that as well to determine kind of, lay eyes on people. That's kind of the medical term for it.
When you work with people, do you work valley-wide?
I do work valley-wide, yeah. I live in the east side, but I travel to the west side quite often. I was just there yesterday. And, wherever I am needed to be, I can head that direction, and we work from there.
So what usually happens is, let's say it could be something that is an emergency, where somebody just fell and now they're in the hospital, now they can't go back home. Does that happen a lot?
That's a lot of reactive situations. I'm sure that, we can all kind of nod our heads to like, whoa, God, I wish I would have seen the warning flags or the red flags, as life goes on and our parents fall and then they land in the hospital, and now that we're realizing I can't take care of them anymore. We've got a busy life, we've got our kids, we've got sports, you name it. We can't just put our lives on hold for certain people, and
but they expect you to.
Yeah, I know. Well, the guilt factor is definitely there with a lot of families. There's a lot of drama that can happen too. So we want to make sure that if they're not able to then go home and be cared for, that we're able to then help them transition into what we call senior living, whether that's independent living, assisted living, or memory care. There's communities, there's care homes out there. I'm vetting all of them all the time. I'm doing tours with my family, so it's a blast. I really enjoy it.
Absolutely. And let me just say this, it can happen to anyone where it happens fast, but she wants you to be prepared.
Absolutely.
Right? It's best to be prepared if you can. Her phone number to call, it's 480-244-5442. The website is epicseniorplacement.com, and she works valley-wide. It's so important. There's a lot of people that, let's say their parents live here, but they may not.
That happens quite often as well.
Can you help with that?
I can, yeah. I'm oftentimes navigating, if somebody, the daughter lives in New York and, mom lives here, how can we transition mom safely? I can coordinate all of that. I can kind of case manage all different things because I've been in healthcare so long. I literally have a guy for everything, so I can make that all happen.
That's awesome, because a lot of times when you're confused or you don't know what to do,
yeah.
I think it's all about, the first thing is to giving a call. It's a free service to the families out there, but having that consultation, having that time to sit down and talk. What's your story? What's the story, right? What's going on, right? Is that what you would say is the first thing?
Yeah, what's your story? I start kind of going through my intake, and sometimes it goes all over the place, and sometimes it's, perfectly planned, but I kind of want to hear their story. I'm kind of a nut for details and wanting to know like where they're at with life and their suffering and stuff, because not only do I advocate, of course, for the loved one that we're transitioning, but also for, the sons and daughters that are actually being caregivers. Like, that's no joke. That's a lot of it's a lot of work.
Don't try it.
No.
It's not
Well, you can try
very
it, but
difficult.
yeah, I always say let's game plan, and even if it's not an immediate placement, that's okay. If we're doing it maybe 3 months out, 6 months out, let's just have a plan and not be so reactive.
Do you help people? Let's say some people right now might want to go to assisted living, or maybe something else happens and they have to go somewhere else where that it gets a little bit more, or have you. Can they start, it was something at the beginning, maybe they just want to downsize and go into, or can they call you for that, or is it specifically with the assisted living and Anna?
Well, I mean, a lot of the communities out here, they're kind of, they'll have the multi-tiers. So independent living, assisted living, memory care. Some of these communities have what I love to call integrated. So you can move into like an apartment, and you could go in under independent living. You get your meals, you get your, whatever, but you're basically living independently. Once you need help, level of care needs, where you need the caregivers to come into your room and help you with ambulating, toileting, dressing, all that good stuff, then basically they flip the switch behind the scenes, and now you're essentially staying in your same apartment, and now caregivers are coming in.
So they generally stay where they are.
They can, yeah. Some buildings are like that, and some of them have separate wings, so it just totally depends on the community.
Again, her phone number to call, it's 480-244-5442. The website is epicseniorplacement.com. Don't wait till it's like at that last minute, somebody and now you need to find someone and you have no idea where to start. I'm sure you get that a lot, but she wants you to be proactive now. I want you to talk a little bit about the financial expectations of assisted living.
Right, and obviously there's two different entities with the care homes and the communities, so their pricing is all over the board. I mean, there's places as inexpensive as maybe close to $3,000 to move in, and there's other places, I always call them bougie. They could get really nice and fancy, and they could be $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to move into, and especially with the level of care tiers, and that's per person. So if you move in as a husband and wife, I mean, you could be paying level of care tiers for 2 people, the second person fee, the apartment rate, I mean, you name it.
How often do you find where somebody, they didn't know what they were doing, they go into a place and now mom hates it or dad hates it, and now they're like trying to find out, now we have to move them again because they didn't call someone like you to get that, because you do tours with people,
yeah,
right? And you already know, because your background, kind of where they might fit already. But does it ever happen where, hey, I tried it, they didn't like it here, where do we go?
Right, I've had to essentially replace people based on where people have landed previously to me getting involved. So, like I said, I'm a detailed nut. I love to hear the details about each family member and what's going on and the dramas and whatnot, and making sure that, okay, let's get them into a better place that, checks their boxes. So, is it just that they didn't like the food at a certain, community, because that's a thing,
important.
right? You gotta like the food. You don't
Right.
want to have to order, from Uber Eats and stuff like that if you're supposed
That's adding too much money.
I know. So no, I've had to replace people. Not any that I've, been working on, but
where they've called you and said, hey,
yeah,
I need to now,
we need
because
a
you
change.
didn't do the right thing in the first place, is
Right.
to find somebody like you. And that's what I love about this show. It's just information for people out
Yeah.
there. And it could be you now, it could be you, someone that you need down the line, you never know. Or you're listening to this, you know somebody that might be in this situation. Having someone like Amy be able to, help you do the work for you, basically,
Yeah.
so that because you already know all of the communities out there. You said you've been doing what you do in the healthcare industry for how long?
I've been in healthcare for over 25 years, and then as far as doing senior placement, I've been doing that a little over 3 years now. But it's, like I said, I have a lot of fun doing it, and it may not always be fun for my clients, but I try to get them to laugh. I try to get them to just get out of their own way. That's kind of where I'm at, and kind of how I'm different.
It's an event that's probably going to have to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Can you really quickly discuss the benefits of community living versus care home living?
Well, if you want to move into community living, of course, then you're all about maybe the movie theater that's inside there, the social events, the happy hour, the fitness classes, the church services, the transportation that they're going to offer, going to doctor's appointments. So you kind of want to live your best life and have a lot of fun. care homes, a totally different realm, maybe more affordable too. But if somebody's a super fall risk and they may not have as many funds, or doing all the social stuff isn't as important to them, let's get them into a care home.
What's your advice, really quickly, for the people out there that are listening, to seniors, to what's the first time of doing something like this, to move into a place? Call you?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. You need to call me so that we can discuss it and just have a game plan. No pressure.
And you know what? It is very true. First of all, you want to make sure that you're proactive. You're listening to this and you've just been in town recently and you see that your parents are there's something wrong with mom. Or you yourself, you want to make sure that they're taken care of in the right place. It's all about doing it sooner rather than waiting till later, because my friends, the fact is that when someone falls and it happens like that, now you are in scramble mode, and it makes it so hard on everyone, and it doesn't have to be. This is a free service to you, the families out there. She works valley-wide. You can check her out on her website, which is epicseniorplacement.com. Her phone number again, it's 480-244-5442.